It is 4 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. Let the minutes show that 3 mayors are here. Well, 2 mayors and a council member from St. Cloud.
We just promoted you.
We just That actually might be a demotion, I don't know.
Item 8.
Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
Yeah, I just have one change. We're gonna remove item 8 and put it on the general business. And then Dave Green will just give an update.
Item 8?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll move it to general business.
all right,
And just move the numbers down.
all right,
And then Dave Green will give an update on that.
okay.
Mhm.
Somebody want to move to approve that as changed?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Consent agenda item 5, 6, and 7.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously for us here. All right, open forum. Is there anyone here for open forum?
Yes.
Anyone for open forum?
Any open forum? Oh, guess not. Okay.
All right. Number 8, November 2024 Dollaride Fixed Route North Star Link reports.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Just one adjustment. When the papers were being saved to put into the agenda, we had a glitch in the November 23 numbers, so it doesn't affect anything for 2024. So the November 2023 numbers somehow shifted down. And so where you see for the Dial-A-Ride monthly system ridership summary, for November 2023, you'll see 537, that actually should have been 4312. 293 should have actually been 3775. 244 should have been the 293, and the 0 should have been 244. So just clearing that up and being transparent about that for the 2023 numbers. Again, no change to the 2024 numbers, but when you're making the comparison to the 24 and the 23 numbers, those are the accurate numbers.
All right. Commissioners, any questions on that?
Nope.
No.
All right, thanks, Steve. All right, item 9, consideration of HR policy 4.7 staff recognition policy.
Still have to
do we
approve
need to-
item
do we-
8.
Oh, want to approve it, or is it just
You still have to
for
approve it.
discussion?
You have to still have to approve it. We just
Okay.
moved it, so
All
that
right.
way
All right.
we got the
I'll make a
explanation.
motion to approve.
All right,
Second.
further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Now you're up, Sonny.
Yep.
All right, good afternoon, Commissioners. The staff recognition policy that is in your packet is really just to formalize different staff recognition, acknowledgement and appreciation programs that we've been doing, just putting it into policy.
All right, any questions for Sonny?
Had you had anything like this in the past for staff recognition?
Yeah, we've done pretty much everything that's in this policy, we've been doing. We
Okay.
just didn't have a policy for it.
Or formal policy?
So we're just formalizing the policy, yeah.
Sounds good.
You want to move to approve?
Move to approve?
Second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. And Sonny, you're up again. Consideration of HR policy updates, Chapter 9, leave of absence.
All right. So the first change is to Section 9.1 sick leave policy. Here, we are just changing the language slightly right now. If somebody gets to a maximum under policy, they are automatically paid out half of the time they accrue in a year. So they could be automatically paid out 6 days if they're full-time, 3 days if they're part-time. Whether that brings them below their max accrual or not. What we're just changing the language to be is that they can be paid out up to those 6 days, but if it only takes 2 days to get them down to their maximum, we would only do the 2 days.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's the change to Section 9.1 sick leave policy. And then for Section 9.2 vacation leave policy, here we are just changing the language. Right now, there's a maximum carryover that employees can have for their vacation. The way it works right now is that anytime they hit that maximum carryover, anything else is lost or forfeited as soon as they go over. What we're changing the language to is that anytime throughout their anniversary year, they can be over that maximum, but once they hit their anniversary year, if they're over, it would be forfeited. And then there is already language in the contract or in the policy that says if they were to separate employment and they have more than the maximum carryover, they would only be paid out up to that maximum carryover. So it's just giving people a little more flexibility in scheduling their time off and not having to schedule things maybe when they wouldn't necessarily want to, just so that they don't lose that time.
Mhm.
Any questions?
Questions for Sonny? Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Department update, planning update. Where already got it?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Michael Kudrowski. I'm the planning analyst here at Metrobus. One of my primary responsibilities is ridership, as well as making it presentable and report back to federal and state agencies. I've been working here for about 4.5 years, a little bit of background on me. Before working at Metrobus, I had a background in planning and zoning and community development. I also began my experience with transit internships with Southwest Transit in Eden Prairie, as well as the Regional Transit Commission of Southern Nevada and Las Vegas. So as far as last year's ridership goes, I have a bit of an overview for you. Ridership totals for fiscal year 24, we provided 810,505 rides. From fiscal year 23 to 24, here are some comparisons. We had about a 4% increase system-wide. Dial-A-Ride had a 7% increase. North Star Link was about a 14% increase. And fixed routes overall saw a 3% increase from fiscal year 23.
Dave, you have a question?
Just
Yeah,
a quick question,
absolutely.
a lot of times legislators talk about the ridership on North Star and that's not feasible to, bring it to St. Cloud, that kind of thing. Is this, you said 14% increase, I'm just curious if that's, is there a peak ridership that it could get up to as such? When you say 14% increase,
Yeah, I kind of like to present it that way because it's kind of tough if you just say a number, but it's kind of been ranging anywhere from just below about 1,000, probably at its lowest recently. I don't remember which month that was specifically, but it's gotten up to mid-1200s as well. And it tends to kind of peak when St. Cloud State's back in session, but summer actually was pretty good this past year. So kind of around 1,100 to 1,200 rides on average, I'd say.
is it like, if you were to say the percentage of ridership on that train, is that like 50% or, it's hard to say, I suppose.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a recent story on the ridership on the North Star Link. And pre-COVID, daily, I think it was daily ridership, it was sort of weekly, whatever it was, monthly. It was right around 700 and some thousand rides, must have been monthly. And most recently, it was at 97,000, or excuse me, 9,700. And that's where the 14% increase is coming from. So.
Yeah, and this is exclusively just the North Star Link, the rides that will take from the St. Cloud area into Big Lake Becker and then connecting with the train. Yeah, and most of those are probably going each way, but some do one-way trips as well, but we don't necessarily keep track of who's using it, just how many people are.
So just to make that connection, we don't operate the train. We operate the bus that connects up with the train.
Right.
And our peak ridership, just for comparison, we were in the 4,200s, 4,000 range, somewhere in that neighborhood back before COVID numbers. And so just to kind of make that comparison, we're 25-30% of what we were, whereas to Gary's point, the train used to be 700 plus, and now they're at. So we've rebounded quicker than what that North Star train has, for comparison.
Is there, I would have to be more trains. There's just 2 trains a day, is that correct? Once in the morning, once in the evening?
We connect up with them, we do, I can't remember. off the top of my head.
4 in the morning?
4 and 4.
Yeah.
4 down.
Yep.
Great, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, thank you. So a little bit more of some things that I do around here. I worked with the long-range plan update. I was a part of the Metrobus Forward project. Just want to take a moment to thank everyone that's in this room that was involved with that, internally, externally, and all of your cities and everyone for helping out with that. So as far as that, we all provided information and feedback throughout that to get the final product you kind of saw last month, and still under development. What's described in a few sentences took nearly 2 years, if not more, so it's kind of nice to see it develop and come to fruition a little bit. So I was also involved with the Western Transit Hub. As far as that, I was on the project team. Now we have the sign out on 2nd Street and Sundial, you can see. We cleared the ground there a while ago. I have that all kind of wide open now, got rid of the buildings and everything. No set timeline on anything right now. As you may know or may have heard, kind of just looking out for RFPs right now, and that's kind of slowly moving along, and we'll give updates as it kind of probably rolls along or any major milestones. And another big thing I'm involved with is NTD sampling. Transit agencies of our side were required to sample ridership, collect data on passenger trips, and then I'm responsible for sampling of procedure and surveying various routes throughout the year, and then gather that information to make collections, to make calculations for the National Transit Database and our ridership. Our last reporting year was 2023, and I'll be doing that again in 2026. And then finally, I also represent Metrobus on several boards and committees. I serve on the APO TAC committee, and then I run our ridership advisory committee, as well as serving on MnDOT District 3 Area Transportation Partnership, long one, as well as the North Star Community Meeting, which is quarterly. So that's all I have. Any further questions?
That ridership, is that it's made up of various people who ride the bus, and they have a committee that can have input about the
The Rider
operation?
Advisory Committee, what we do right now is it's going to be individuals that are kind of ambassadors for Metrobus.
Well,
So we kind of have an even representation of individuals from the area that ride our dial-a-ride system, some ride our fixed route, and then we have representative from the APO that's on our committee. So we work with them, and then they kind of are more so ambassadors and act as kind of transition between, your person that rides the bus and then kind of more a formal committee that like board and everything. So,
right. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
How many members are on that?
We have, I think it's 8.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
All right, anything else? Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we're up for marketing and communications update.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Nate Ravature. I'm the Marketing Communications Manager at Metrobus. We're a 2-person department, along with Lisa Sabian, and then, of course, input and direction from Sonny. First thing I want to share is, as timing worked out this year, we have the results from last week's Jolly Trolley, our annual food drive. We collected $1,851 last week, and 9,766 pounds of non-perishable food items. So in the last 14 years, which is what we have records for, the drive's actually been going on longer than that, but for the last 14 years, we've collected over $36,000 and 39 tons of food. So some real big numbers there. But as I mentioned, the drive this year took place last week, so it was December 9th through the 12th. We were at area grocery stores each night, and then we did the deliveries to the 3 beneficiary food shells on Friday, December 13th. Those food shells were the Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, and the Promise Neighborhood. So those food shelves, they also provide us with some volunteers, and then we go drop off all the food and stuff. And it's really rewarding to hear those people talk about how much they appreciate the efforts of Metrobus and our partners to bring them that, those contributions. So we do partner with Town Square Media, which would be like WJON and stuff on that primarily. As well as the locations. We were at Lund's Byerly's on Monday, Coburn's on Cooper on Tuesday in St. Cloud, Cashwise East in St. Cloud on Wednesday, and Coburn's in Sauk Rapids on Thursday night last week. We also benefited from some large donations from North Central Bus that we work with here at Metrobus quite a bit. Gate City Bank in Sauk Rapids, Spartan Nash, Wrangell Printing Company, Mustang Signs and Graphics, and then Lund's Byerly's also gave us a large food donation as well as hosting. So it was a great program this year. I had a gentleman come up to me at one of the locations. We were all done, and everybody else, the bus had moved on with all the food, and he came up to me and just knocked on the window. I was like, oh, what's this guy want? And he's like, I just want to let you know how thankful I am for everything you guys do. It was kind of made my day, right? So it made it a good work day. So it's a good program. So. Another thing I was going to update you guys about our advertising revenue program. So some numbers for fiscal year 2024. We primarily, most of our bus and advertising is done with our partner Help Transit Advertising from down towards the cities. They facilitate most of our bus wraps, all of our interior bus advertising, panel ads, some bench ads at some of our bus stops. The way that works is they basically facilitate the program, and then we split the revenue with them 50-50. So last year for bus wraps and ads, we were almost $81,000. Interior bus ads were $3,600, and then bench ads were $400 total, just with Hauk. We also do a few direct sales with local companies. So we primarily, the larger one is Burnix, which we do 2 bus wraps. All of our shelters around town, so you see the ads in there, those are Burnix ads, and then several benches. And that totals $30,000 a year. And that we get the whole thing, but then I gotta work on it, so that's the trade-off. And then we also have an SESU bus wrap that's $10,800 a year. So that's these are all fiscal year 2024 numbers. So over $120,000 that we brought in with that program.
Nate, you said the first one, the bus reps, was 81,000? Is that before the split?
Nope, that's after the
That's
split.
after
That's
the
our
split.
revenue.
That's our
Yep, that's our net. Yep.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah, so it was $80,970 just for the bus wraps, our share of it. Yeah. The other thing I was going to share, our department is starting to make plans, and Lisa's been working on this quite a bit, to look at what we will be having to update with the upcoming route changes. So obviously lots of schedules will change, our overall system map, signage all over the place, new facilities. So we're kind of getting ready for that. And then the last thing I have is I'm going to share a video that we did, a video ad for playing at Rocks games next summer. If you remember, a year or two ago, we brought a video to you guys that we ran at Rocks game for employment. This is a new one that we did. That turned out great, so we thought we'd share it with you. We'll play at all home games for the Rocks next summer. We also use it in very other spaces, social media. It's on our YouTube page, so forth. So I'll have Kellen cue that up quick, and then I'll take any questions.
This is moving Metrobus forward. This is also moving Metrobus forward. This is Metrobus literally moving forward. We move our communities forward in many different ways. When you work at Metrobus, you help move our communities forward. And you move forward with great benefits, including generous time off to enjoy yourself. Learn about our open positions, benefits, and pay at ridemetrobus.com.
Metrobus, the people bigger uppers.
So we try to feature a lot of employees on that one, really get our culture out there. Some employees acting as customers, and other ones actually doing their job, which they're a little more comfortable with. But yeah, that turned out pretty well. So.
Yeah, good.
Was that a commercial company that put that together, or did you do that in-house?
We work with Local IQ, which is also used to be Times Media, Times Paper. We worked with them on that video in particular. Worked with them on the video we've shared previously here and some other stuff. They're a real good partner on that.
Good.
Nice.
All right.
Nate, I have a question. Maybe it's going to come over this way, though. One of the things, obviously, you're advertising is employment. How are we doing employee numbers, openings?
We actually are at a point right now where we are not filling any of our vacancies because we are waiting to see what is going to transpire with the results of the long-range transit plan.
Okay.
So the last time I looked, I think we're fully staffed in Dial-A-Ride. I believe we had 7 vacancies in fixed route.
6 or 7.
Yeah, and then fully staffed everywhere else.
Okay.
So we're just kind of holding there until
Yeah.
we have a better understanding of what the long-range transit plan might mean for staffing and needs.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
and it pertains to my department that we've kind of pivoted to making sure that we work on employee retention, right? So working with Sunny and the HR department to develop programs and whatever to really work on employee retention to make sure we keep the good people that we have. So.
Yep.
Thanks.
Is it generally, learn while you earn kind of thing? Is the training held for the drivers and so forth, or do they have to come with that licensure prior to being hired?
We will hire people, they don't even have to have their permit. We haven't done a permit prep class in a while because we haven't had to. But typically we're hiring people who at least have their CDL permit and then we do their license training on site, get them examined and licensed, and then we continue their training specific to Metro Bus service, our routes, our expectations after they're licensed.
So there's hope for retired mayors like Rick and I?
Absolutely.
There you go. We should be able to push those little cars out of the way.
You can help me with surveys if you want.
There you go. All right, any other questions? Thank you. All right, anything else? Nothing?
Happy holidays.
Yep, have a nice holiday, and we'll see you in another year. All right, then we are adjourned at 4:20.